Truckers, what's happening? It's Dean here, doing another video for ET. Today we are going to talk about the do's and don'ts of customs, what to do and what not to do when you're at the customs. Basically, you know what? The customs are going to try to intimidate the hell out of you. It's what they like to do. The most important part out of, I think, the entire thing is just staying calm. Don't get flustered, don't let it get to you, and be prepared. You know, if it's your first time going across the border, it's going to be a lot more nerve-wracking. You're going to be really on edge and afraid of what's going to happen. If you're doing everything legal and proper and you got nothing to hide, then you absolutely have nothing to worry about. You know, if you're trying to bring something across with you, or you know, you got somebody in the back that you don't want to declare or something like that, well, you better be nervous, because yeah, when they go up with the fine-tooth comb, it's not going to be a good thing. Yeah, you know, like, be calm, address the guy. Eye contact is great. Like, I mean, definitely make sure you maintain eye contact. Don't be fidgety and looking around, and stay off your phone. Definitely keep the phone down, out of sight. I don't know, general for me, even when I'm going through weigh scales and stuff like that, if I'm wearing a headset, so you know, I like to be hands-free all the time, and I always have the headset on. If I'm going through the weigh scales and stuff like that, even if I'm talking to somebody, I'm like, you know what, hang on 5 minutes, man. I'm just gonna roll across the scale. Instead of doing it, flip this thing off my head. It gives them one less thing to look at. It's not that you're doing anything wrong because you're being legal by doing it, but for me, it's a respect thing. When you're talking to somebody of authority and stuff like that, just have that extra level of respect for them, and it'll go a long way. You know, if you're trying to talk to them and this person's talking in your ear at the same time, and you know, you're gonna get things flustered and you're gonna screw up, and they're gonna just say, you know what, pull her around there. We're just gonna do a quick little secondary on you here, and you know, all that stuff just slows you down. So make sure you got your paperwork in order. You know they're gonna want it, so have all your customs and your documents and stuff ready for them. Make sure you've phoned ahead and that, you know, you're cleared to cross. They have got a little bit lenient on if you happen to, for whatever reason, go to the wrong border. They are a little bit more lenient on that now, where before, if you know, you were supposed to cross a Fort Erie and you were going to cross in wherever else, Peace Bridge or something like that, you know, before they would turn you around and make you go to the other border. Now they're a little bit more lenient on that, and they will allow you to cross. They understand mistakes happen and we don't always go to the right place, but for the most part, you know, like, really pay attention to where you're supposed to be crossing and stuff like that, and that stuff is all going to save you big in the end. I would say keeping your truck tidy, keeping your curtains open if you can. The small little things, it's the small details that go a long way for them. When you show up and you get to the thing, there's plenty of signs that are telling you don't set your air brakes and stuff like that. It's not that they're trying to be dicks, it's they're talking through microphones, and they have speaker systems, and that speaker system is amplified like hell inside that little booth that they're in. So when you set your air brakes, it's like an explosion inside their head. So yeah, it's a good way to piss them off really fast. You know, again, just have a little bit of respect. If it's bugging you too much holding your thing, you know, pull down on your spike, maybe hold your spike down, something like that. A couple little things that'll help you out, right? No potty mouth. Do not use trucker slang. It's a no-no. They don't like the F sharps, and you know, they're not musicians that way. So let's stick to good, proper talking. Don't talk too fast when you're doing it. No, to them, they don't want to hear that stuff. That stuff's gonna aggravate the hell out of them. Pay attention. When they ask you something, answer the question to the best of your knowledge. If you don't hear the question or whatever, don't make them repeat it by just sitting there with that blank look on your face. You know, just ask the guy, say, sorry, I missed that. Can you say that again? And then he'll say it, and then answer them to the best of your ability. Answer them directly and clearly. It should be smooth sailing going across for the most part. Always remember, in the end game is you are both professionals. You're a professional, they're a professional. You're a professional truck driver, they're a professional at the border crossing. Be professional. Don't have food in your mouth. Don't chew gum. The last thing they want to see is some guy with a horse mouth. You're just chewing away on, you know, a big wad of gum and stuff like that. You have to remember, at the end of the day, they have a job to do. The same way that we have a job to do. Our job is to get that material down the road and get it delivered safely. Their job is to keep the border safe and make sure that, you know, the riffraff aren't coming through and people aren't doing things illegally. And it's nothing personal. And I think that people often take that, you know, weigh scales and the border the same way, is that these guys have something out to, you know, they're out to get you. Man, these guys see 800 truckers a day or more, you know, like, I mean, they're crossing all day long, one one after another. They got nothing against you. Trust me. You're the last person they remember. But you can be the person they do remember. In a good way or a bad way. You know, if you're a jerk and you're a real a-hole when you're going through there and you're giving them attitude and you think that your shit doesn't stink and that they should just let you through because of your grace and glory, well, you know what? They're going to remember you and they are going to flag you. But you can also be the person that they remember because you're one of the most polite truck drivers that they've seen. You know, you come through it, yes sir, yes ma'am. You treat them with respect. You have your documents all ready for them. Everything is like, it just goes so smooth, you know, it rolls and across the border you go. And that's the way it should be. And if you do it enough and, you know, on a constant basis, you'll get to that level, but you have to get to that level. One thing to remember is that what they're trained to do at the borders is they're trained to read body language. They look for signals, they look for signs of people that are nervous. And if you're really, really nervous, what do you got to hide? Like, why are you so nervous? That's what they're looking for. When you get there and you know that they're going to interrogate the hell out of you, take a deep breath before you get there. Just take a deep breath, count to about 10, nice long, slow breath out, just to slow your heart rate down and everything, get you back into that nice little zen thing. Don't have your radio on in the background because it's going to mix up between what you're hearing. Make sure if you got sunglasses on, take the sunglasses off, you know, so they can see your eyes. Just listen to everything that they say. If you're nervous or if you have a long wait or something like that, you know, the guy's taking a little bit long to do his things and you don't want to, you know, start looking around your truck and stuff like that, pick an object or pick anything, a sign to read, pick an object that's around you in the vicinity of that person. Like, don't pick one over on the opposite side or where you're looking completely away from the guy, because then when he starts talking to you, you're going to miss it altogether. But pick something close to the guy and just make eye contact with that and pay attention, and it's not going to take that long. He'll get back to you and you'll be sailing across the border, and it won't be that bad. Always make sure that when they give you a direct question, so when they ask you a direct question, where are you coming from? Chicago. Just flat out. They don't need to know where in Chicago. They don't need to know how long you're in Chicago unless they ask. When they say, how long have you been away? I've been out of the country for 24 hours. You know, it's just a direct answer. They don't need to know that you visited your aunt and your uncle and you went down and saw a baseball game and, you know, you had a beer, and it wasn't just a beer, you had a Pilsner and, you know, whatever. They don't need all that details, right? They just need the basics. That's all they want. Whatever you do, don't bite back. A lot of times, you know, and you don't know what the kind of day this guy's had. The driver before you might have been a total dick, right? And now you pull up and he's already, you know, flustered and he gives you a bit of attitude. Well, now if you bite back and you're a dick back to him, things are not going to go well. Remember, like I said, there's nothing personal, right? My grandma had a thing above her kitchen table that said, love your enemies, it drives them nuts. And that's, you know what, I have used that my entire life. I love it. There's nothing that pisses somebody off more than when they're mad and you don't get mad back. And there's nothing they can do about that, right? Like, I mean, they can't pull you in for an inspection because you were nice to them, you know? Why are you inspecting this? Well, because he was nice to me, right? Like, it's not gonna fly, you know? So just remember, don't take it personal. If the guy's having a bad day, let him spew off, take a deep breath, answer his question, and you'll be fine. Whatever you do, do not lie about anything. If you're bringing, you know, like, they're gonna ask you if you brought certain things in. They'll probably ask you if you have fruits and vegetables. They'll ask you these different questions, and, you know, if you do, don't, you know, like, say no because you're afraid that, you know, you're going to get pulled in for an inspection. Say, oh, shoot, you know what? Yeah, I actually do. I got a banana in my lunchbox or whatever, you know. Like, I mean, it's not like you're bringing in 10 bushels. If you got 10 bushels of bananas in the back, you might want to be a little bit nervous at that point. Or just say, I got a real banana addiction. No, just, you know, like, be truthful on everything you do. Lies have short legs. You're going to have a hard time remembering every lie that you told, and that guy's going to come back somewhere through that conversation and re-ask you a question, and if you don't answer that question perfect, yeah, you're busted on it, right? And remember, they're trained for this stuff, so it's important not to lie. Just be truthful on everything that you're saying. I would say last but not least is, I know you guys, some of you guys like to smoke, some of you guys are chain smokers, and it is what it is, you know. If that's your deal, then that's your deal. But when you roll through the scales, butt out, put that smoke down, make sure it's butt out. Don't even have the smoke flaring up in behind you, because they don't know what the hell is burning in there, right? You smoking a joint, or you smoking, you know, like, just don't smoke. Just put your smoke out. Again, show the respect to the person of authority. It goes a long way. It, you know, you're trying to talk to him and you got the smoke dangling out of your mouth the whole time that you're doing it, and the ashes are blowing inside his booth. You know, it's not going to go well for you. So put the smoke out. Just have a little bit of couth, have a little bit of respect for the guy and or woman that's in the booth, and you'll be okay. Anyways, that's my take on it. It's not necessarily the do-all end-all. Like I say, some of you guys will rip me to shreds. Some of you guys will love the hell out of me. I love both of them. Make sure that you like us, you love us, you subscribe, hit the bell, and we will catch you on the next one. Look forward to seeing it. Keep the shiny side up, keep the rubber side down, and we'll see you next video. Goodbye.